it's worth talking about what we're trying to accomplish here. You'd think I want to just take the whole fender off, which I'm kind of avoiding, you might have noticed by now. But the idea is we want to get this part of the metal to come out this way, closer to the bull bar on that part. What I need is any clearance inside of this panel, inside of that piece of metal to work on. And we'll take a look inside what I've got in my way. So if you look there, we've got the inner tube for the factory snorkel that's on there. Problem is the ring clamp is screwed in from the other side, which is a bit nuisance. And then this side here, I've got to take off that snorkel in there, so that part. So I've disconnected the ring clamp, but again, don't have a lot of clearance to move everything, which means that I've got to get at least the air box out of the way and probably the battery and the rest of it. So part of it's a big experiment. I never said I was an expert. We've got here. We've got access back behind, which is nice. See this? That's the snorkel. And it's got a nice ring clamp on there, but they tighten it from the top, which means I can't get to it. And I don't have any clearance back behind here, which means the panels get to come off. I was kind of hoping I could look cool and do it without it, but yeah. Here we go. When you work on your own four-wheel drive, you get to learn about the quality of the people that made it, or at least the intelligence of them. So, this is the snorkel tube here. Inside the panel, there's a ring clamp there. See that? Well, the problem is that the screw and the nut to access the ring clamp is on the top instead of being able to access from the bottom. So, we look here. It's attached to this thing, and I need to move that out of the way to actually access the screw. Idiot! Don't do that. Here we have it. Snorkel is off. I don't know if that's factory or not. Some pookie or some silicone inside of there to help with the waterproofing. And if you're trying to do this yourself, there's your pattern for where your studs are. Now that I can move this a bit, I wonder if I can access that stupid ring clamp. Sorry. Of course we can't. All right. Let's see how I can make this work. There are two bolts on the back of the snorkel to come out, and they're in there. I was to guess they'd be about 12 mils. Let's see if I got one of those. Yep, I prepared one earlier. Remember what I said before about lefty loosey, righty tighty on these? So the arrow on this one indicates that that's the tightening side. So I'm going to flip it over, see if it fits. It's a stud. Plot twist. The inner snorkel tube has come loose, and I can now access somewhere in here the ring clamp. It's like this, but on the other side and put upside down. So I'm going to give it a crack and see if we can just get there. That'd be great. No idea if you can see on that, but let's try. Next tip to think about when you're doing any project is the while you're in here jobs. So for example, you're going to get into your airbox, might as well change the filter while you're in there, just because it's a bit of a nuisance to get in and out. This is actually a new one, so I don't have to change it now, but I recommend you actually replace yours while you're in. Routine maintenance, clean it out, get it done. All right, so those 3 bolts are out. Still won't move, which means we've got something underneath. What should be likely these 2 here. I have no idea why that one is square. Alright, I gotta set you down. Let's try again. It's this one, and that one. No idea what that does. Figure it out later. Downside though, if you look, the screw itself is turning. I don't believe that's good. So, let's get the magic drippy juice. So I'll figure this out. These guys are stripped on top inside the airbox, and they don't want to go anywhere. And these 3 things have to come out. So rather than get frustrated and angry, you know what time it is? It's time to pat the doggo. Say hello to everybody, baby. She's a good girl. So a bit of a decision tree. I can't tighten these again, get the airbox secure. And they're probably stripped inside. So really the only way to get it out now is to cut these off. And look, it's a 300,000 K patrol, so things are gonna get stuck, they're gonna get broke. It happens. Hopefully the airbox will be fine, I can actually secure it back down, but let's get it out, chop things up. So I'm digging through all this stuff trying to figure out how to get this stupid airbox out. Lucky me. Found a ring clamp down in there. I wonder how many 10mm sockets I'm going to find in here. Now to sit here and crank away at this thing, I know what you're asking. Why don't you just pull out the battery box and get it out of the way? Because it's a pain in the ass to get it out. That's why. As if the rest of this is super easy. I don't know why I said that. Oh, was that in the string for Fanny? The airbox is out. Those bolts, we can fix that. Was that cut off? We'll get these guys out, replace those bolts, so something doesn't twist in there when we do it. We can fix that. What you guys hoping for? I'm not sure, that's a good sound. I think every day. Are you kidding me? Alright, so this is super awesome. That ring clamp right there is what I need to detach this. But it's screwed from the top. What a pain in the ass. So we got one more back behind here. Let's see. I gotta figure out how to get that freaking light off. So remember early on when I was pissed off with that ring clamp? Well, if you take the headlamp out, you can actually access it really easily. So pretty much, if you want to do a panel replacement the effective way, watch this video, but backwards. You're at the glory moment.
Huh?
You are coming at the glory moment.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yay. If you're going to take the snorkel off your GU Patrol, you should ought to try to know what everything is and where it goes. I'll show you the components, what they look like on the outside, and that way it gives you an idea for the bolt orientation. So this piece moves in here like that. That's the inner tube that goes inside the fender itself. The air box, it attaches into this component here. There's a Phillips screw on the bottom side. That will keep everything from twisting, keep it in position. So, and you notice on that end of the pipe, it fits there. So as those go together, it's going to orient thusly. So like that. Now if you're trying to twist it down and it binds up, there's a bolt that goes in here. We would have seen that from the inside. So that bolt comes out first, this one, and the ring clamp. Mine was oriented wrong when you put it together. Just watch for the orientation of the ring clamp when it goes in. So, if you will, that's on there, and it hooks like that. Now the snorkel itself, I had to figure out this by hand. So 2 bolts here, they go into the bracket that's on the A pillar. Now the 5 bolts on the bottom, and this is the inlet, this goes to the other side of the inside tube. So there's 5 studs that are in here. So you see the orientation. That one's easy to get to. You got to reach around and find that one, and this one up in here. So you don't have to ram it, just find all 5. And that's your orientation for when you're trying to pull it out.